All right, My City Connected is officially moving from concept to a real-world pilot. And what we're going to do here is break down the 90-day strategic plan that's designed to turn that blueprint into a real, functioning, community-owned digital economy. Let's dive in.
So we're going to walk through this whole plan in 6 key steps. First, we'll hit the core mission, the why behind it all. Then, we'll look at the brilliant legal work that makes it even possible. From there, we'll jump into the 90-day execution sprint, see how the very first city gets chosen, define what success actually looks like, and then, finally, we'll talk about the future this whole thing is building.
Okay, first up, the mission. And honestly, this might be the single most important piece of the entire pilot, its core purpose.
And look, this is a huge distinction. So many tech projects out there are just obsessed with scaling to millions of users on day one. This pilot completely flips that script. The goal here isn't about getting big, it's about getting it right. It's about proving in a real, live environment that the entire model, the legal stuff, the governance, the operations, is absolutely rock solid. This is all about building real confidence, not just with regulators, but with the very community it's built to serve.
So, how in the world do you build that kind of confidence from the ground up? Well, it all starts with a legal foundation. We're about to look at the crucial safeguards that make this entire model work before a single dollar ever changes hands.
The entire My City Connected model is built on this really smart idea called proactive safeguarding. This isn't about waiting for problems and then reacting. Nope, this is about designing a system from day one that's meant to function perfectly within the laws we already have by thinking through all the tough questions about finance, data, and participation right from the get-go.
And these safeguards really zoom in on 3 core areas you see here. Let's break them down. How the money is handled, how that community revenue gets distributed, and of course, how your personal data is kept safe and secure.
Okay, first up, the money. And this is a big one. My City Connected never touches or holds a single cent of user funds. Ever. Every single transaction is managed by a totally separate, fully licensed third-party payment processor. MCC's revenue is just a simple contractual slice of the processing fees. This creates a really clean firewall, which ensures compliance and keeps the platform neatly separated from all that regulated financial activity.
All right, so how does the community actually get paid? This is where the two-entity structure comes in, and it's just a brilliant piece of legal design. A portion of the revenue flows to a totally independent, member-owned community services cooperative. And here's the key. By classifying this money as compensation for services, not an investment return, the model cleverly avoids a whole bunch of financial speculation and doesn't create a traditional employer-employee relationship.
And finally, data privacy. This system is built for privacy from the ground up. Get this, identity verification happens in person at trusted community spots like a local library. So instead of storing all your personal info, that process just generates a secure cryptographic token. Think of it like a digital key. It unlocks the door for you, but it doesn't have your name, address, or anything else written on it. MCC isn't hoarding data, and for full transparency, they're going to publish a complete map of how data flows for anyone to look.
So, with that rock-solid legal foundation in place, let's get into the action plan. The 90-day sprint to actually bring this whole pilot to life.
These 90 days are broken into 3 really clear phases. The first 30 days, that's all about laying the groundwork, getting the legal entities formed, locking in the agreements. The next 30 days are about building the operational side, setting up partnerships and proactively reaching out to state regulators. And then, in that final 30-day stretch, it is go time. That is when real users get onboarded and the very first transactions start happening.
Of course, this whole thing has to happen somewhere, right? And the choice of the first Lighthouse City isn't random at all. It's a highly strategic decision designed to test this model under very specific real-world conditions. You've got 3 leading candidates on the table, and each one is like a different kind of test lab. There's Atlanta, which offers a test of cultural and economic scale, with its powerful HBCU network and black business ecosystem. Then you have Los Angeles, which would test the model against just immense urban complexity, home to the country's largest Latino small business economy. And finally, Oakland, a test for deep community integration, building on its strong co-op history and high digital literacy. Each city offers a really unique path to proving this model can work.
Okay, so fast forward 90 days. How do we know if this thing actually worked? Well, success isn't just a vague feeling, right? It's defined by clear, tangible metrics that prove we accomplished what we set out to do. First up, people. Success means building a core active pilot community of over 300 verified users who are ready to participate. Second, businesses. We need to onboard more than 30 participating local businesses into the network to really form the backbone of this new digital economy.
Third, you need real economic activity. This means hitting transaction volume targets that are specifically tailored to the economic profile of each potential city, starting at $15,000 and going up from there.
But honestly, the most important success metric, the ultimate validation, the real proof in the pudding, is this: successfully completing and documenting the very first community wealth recirculation cycle. That's the moment when the revenue generated by the community flows back to the community. Proving that core mechanism works with real money, well, that's what this is all about.
And that brings us to the final crucial point. This 90-day pilot isn't just some short-term experiment. It's about building a solid foundation for something much, much bigger. See, a successful pilot in a single city creates a proven, legally defensible blueprint. It becomes a repeatable model that can be used for responsible expansion, laying the groundwork for a national network of digital economies that are truly owned and governed by the communities they serve.
And that leaves us with this one powerful question to think about. What really happens when a city, its residents, and its small businesses own their own digital infrastructure?